Each trainer is gifted differently, and that means different approaches to good training. Some of the methods deployed, or pedagogy if you like, depend on resources available, student concentration, and of course behavior.
Teaching guides include pedagogies, teaching methods, learning guides, and lesson plans. Pedagogy refers to the method and practices of a teacher. It's how they approach their teaching style and relates to the different theories they use, how they give feedback, and the assessments they set. When people refer to the pedagogy of teaching, it means how the teacher delivers the curriculum to the class. Pedagogy is important because it gives teachers an insight into the best practice for a classroom setting. It allows them to understand how different students learn so they can tailor their lessons to suit these needs. A good pedagogical approach is required for students with special needs or students who come from disadvantaged groups or minorities. The approach supports the needs of these students and helps them integrate better into the mainstream learning community. There are 4 common forms of pedagogy. Social, which is education and supporting social development. Critical, which is deconstructing normative perspectives. Culturally responsive, which is encouraging the sharing of diverse backgrounds and experiences. And Socratic, which is developing intellectual and social skills to live in a democratic society. Now let's look at teaching methods. The term teaching method refers to the general principles, pedagogy, and management strategies used in the classroom instruction. The choice of teaching methods depends on what fits you, your educational philosophy, classroom demographic, subject area, and school mission statement. Teaching theories can be organized into 4 categories based on 2 major parameters: a teacher-centered approach versus a student-centered approach, and high-tech material use versus a low-tech material use. It is helpful to think of teaching styles according to 3 Ds, that is, directing, discussing, and delegating. The directing style promotes learning through listening and following directions. With this style, the teacher imparts information to the student via lectures. The discussing style promotes learning through interaction. In this style, practiced by Socrates, the teacher encourages critical thinking and likely discussion by asking students to respond to challenging questions. The teacher is a facilitator, guiding the discussion to a logical conclusion. The delegating style promotes learning through empowerment. With this style, the teacher assigns tasks that students work on independently, either individually or in groups. Appropriate mix of each teaching style. Structure each of the classes to include some amount of each teaching style. Let's now look at the learning guides. Teachers often support student learning by providing study guides or guidelines for exams, assignments, and projects. These typically focus on content, concepts, and skills students should learn in the course. Guidelines may apply to the entire course or specific course requirements, e.g., exams, writing assignments, projects, lab reports, among others. A learning guide is a user manual about effective ways to learn the subject matter and skill in a course. Its key features include, based on research in the learning sciences, empirical research evidence informs the guide strategies and suggestions about how to learn in the course. Target skills students need in specific course contexts. Guides address general learning skills such as practice testing that apply broadly within and across discipline. The following are some of the important learning theories used by teachers. Constructivism, Constructivism is a learning theory that says learners construct knowledge rather than just passively take in information. The consequences of constructivist theory are: students learn best when engaged in learning experiences. B, learning is inherently a social process because knowledge cannot be directly imparted to students. The goal of teaching is to provide experiences that facilitate the construction of knowledge. This theory believes knowledge should be delivered in a curriculum where each subject is taught discretely. In a lesson using this theory, practices would include lecturing, modeling, and demonstration, and choral repetition. Each activity is visible and structured and is led by the teacher at the front. This approach is on where the student voice is placed at the center, and the classroom is democratic in culture. In a classroom setting, the teacher might use examples of literature that contain non-standard constructions, such as graffiti. Students are given more authority and may make on the role of the teacher. They will then have the freedom to choose the topic for the duration of the lesson.
The digital version of this work has been derived from a book titled Training Manual Guide for Life Skills and Work Readiness Programs, jointly authored by Professor Charles M.M. Ondieki, a lecturer at Multimedia University of Kenya, and Mr. Kaheho Ndungu, the Chief Executive Officer of CAP Youth Empowerment Institute. We highly appreciate their contribution towards the learning and teaching of life skills and work readiness skills in Kenya and the rest of the world. This digital version of the book will be very useful to both learners and teachers or trainers.